Cannibalism. Could you eat a whole human being? With the help of a doctor, a scientist and a chef, I set out to see if it's possible. Cannibalism, Part 3. Body mass. Can a cannibal know how long it would take to eat a human if they don't know their size or weight? I think not, especially as everyone's limbs, torso, organs, and even their muscle-to-fat ratio is different. In 2015, Tamara Samsonova, the Granny Ripper of Russia, was convicted of murder and suspected of cannibalism. Killing her friend in a row over dirty crockery, she drugged 79-year-old Valentina Ilanova, dismembered her body, and said to have a fondness for lungs. She gouged them out by reaching into the body cavity, pulling them out through the dismembered neck, and then allegedly ate them. She was caught because even if you don't plan to eat it, disposing of a body is hard, as we're all built different. For example, lungs. At birth, they weigh 40 grams, and as an adult, they weigh 1 kilo. But as her victims were heavy smokers, their lungs would have been a smaller size and tasted of tar. Ooh, yummy. People are wonderfully diverse. Robert Wadlow, the tallest person, was 8 foot 11 inches and weighed 439 pounds, making him 3 foot taller and twice as heavy as Mike Tyson when he was the world heavyweight champion. The shortest was Chandra Dangi, who at 1 foot 7 inches and 31 pounds, was the length of a newborn baby, but weighed the weight of 3. John Minnock was the heaviest at 1,400 pounds, the same weight as a 1960s Mini or a 1980s Toyota Corolla with the doors cut off. And the lightest was Lucia Zerat at 4.7 pounds, or 4 foot-long Subway sandwiches. And yes, a cannibal is unlikely to pick a person of such extreme proportions. But Issei Sagawa, the Kobe cannibal, did try to eat Renee Hartfeld, who as a woman was taller than average at 5'10", and yet he was only a titchy 4'9". So to work out if we can eat a whole human being, we'll need a willing victim. Let's call him Steve.
Hello, I'm Steve.
It's okay, he's not real.
Oh, am I not?
No, you're entirely fictional for tax purposes. According to the Office of National Statistics, Steve is the average UK male. 5'9", or 178 centimetres tall, 87 kilos, or 13 stone 3 pounds in weight, with size 9 shoes, a size 16 collar, a 43-inch chest, a 37-inch waist, a BMI of 25, and like 67% of the UK male population, he's overweight or sporting a pot belly. Legend. Our victim isn't a woman, as there's no way I'd risk tackling the tricky issue of a woman's weight. But if you think this is sexist, just imagine that Steve is someone you hate. A boss, an ex-boyfriend. Someone you'd love to squeeze out of your bottom, look down into the bowl and say, "That's what I think of you." Or perhaps you consider nibbling on a similarly sized, sexy celebrity, like Jared Leto, Johnny Depp or Tom Hardy. Oh, now you're drooling. Albert Fish claimed that he ate Grace Budd's entire body in 9 days, which we know was a lie, as a skull and parts of a skeleton were found buried, with 6 years of decomposition having destroyed the rest. But even an ex-army butcher like Dennis Nilsen had difficulty disposing of an average UK male without resorting to cannibalism, as the fat, skin and several small bones had clogged up his drain and led to his arrest. According to the Royal College of Pathologists, the average UK male consists of 33.6 kilos of muscle, 11.7 kilos of bone, 9 pints of blood, 21 square feet of skin, and 3 stone 7 pounds of fat. With a 3-pound brain, a 310-gram heart, 2 kidneys of 266 grams, a 1.5 kilo liver, a 1 kilo set of lungs, a 175-gram spleen, 7.5 pounds of intestines. And if that doesn't make you hungry, why not wash it down with 5 million hair follicles? Maybe you're thinking, you know what? Eating a human being, it isn't for me. Well, in addition to the 21,000 litres of saliva it is said that we swallow in our lifetime, with each of us shedding 50 million skin cells a day, if by some miracle you don't swallow anyone else's skin cells, simply by drinking tap water, the Environmental Protection Agency estimates we each consume 109.5 grams of fecal matter a year, which isn't our own. That's roughly a third of a sausage. Ooh, tasty. Even the German cannibal, Armin Meiwes, after his failed attempt to chow down on a chewy penis, struggled to eat the remains of his victim, as across the following 10 months, having stored body parts in a freezer, he claimed to have consumed 20 kilos, 44 pounds of flesh, roughly 2/3 of his victim's muscle mass. Having cooked part of Brandis's flesh in olive oil, garlic, pepper and nutmeg, and eaten him at a table with sprouts, potatoes and a bottle of South African red. And yet, most of Brandis's bones, skin and innards were buried in the garden. Issei Sagawa had a very different issue, as he said he stopped eating Renee as she'd begun to decompose, and he was arrested trying to dump her remains in a Paris lake. Dahmer admitted that he scattered the smashed bones in the woodlands behind his home, and although this was never proven, Fritz Hamann, the vampire of Hanover, was said to have sold it on the black market as pork or horse meat, which was boneless, diced, ground up, and was said to have an odd flavour and texture. For a cannibal to digest an entire body is difficult, but as many serial killers have proven, it can be done given the right tools, knowledge, skill, and an average-sized male called Steve.
Hello.
Over the next 4 weeks, we'd explore each body part, how long it would take to digest, how many calories are in them, as well as which cannibal ate or binned them. And we'll even throw in some recipe tips. Join me tomorrow to examine the body part that most cannibals go for first, the muscles.